Going? We good? We good? Let me know. Hey, welcome to the Psy Tai Podcast with your host, Psy Tai, Just Tai. Hey, welcome to Just Tai Now, a place where we combine our minds with our hearts, see what our gut mind is saying, combine those three circles, and let whatever come out, just come on out. Hey, XL 13, Grand Rising, Sun and the Moon. It was a good day. It was a good night. Good night. Just want to get things started, get situated, brush up everybody on things that's been going on. And so hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time is coming at y'all. Enjoy this energy, take part in this atmosphere, join the Discord or the chat, and we can have a conversation as opposed to a conversation. And it's conversations, I think, is an awesome line. Let me open up this. Let me go to Discord too. I ran into a new person yesterday. Like I was with somebody and they brought their friend, so we was able to talk and stuff. And she hosts a dance company and things like that. So it was pretty cool talking, like tying alongside, because I was talking to her. I was talking to her about the channel, about mushrooms and stuff. And you could tell when you could talk to certain people about certain transcendent things or certain things that happen in the mind by like their first couple reactions, and if you should keep going or like say, oh yeah, this just happened in a movie or something like that. Like she was totally with it. And she was asking me stuff that was going on about, should she listen to her gut? So I was like, oh, let me explain Ty. Like, if your gut's saying it, I don't even got no more talking. Like, you already know the answer. You telling me what you want to do. Oh, I didn't see y'all going back and forth in the Discord yesterday. I gotta check out my notifications.
Put down what your energy, highly susceptible, highly empathetic.
Yeah, and the like you said, it just keep going. It just keep going. And she was, hey, Exile.
What's
Before
up,
I
man?
go farther, what's up? Wait, is that door open? Oh, no. But yeah, it was pretty cool. She was cool. Cause it was like she was on that type time. Then I was like, oh, it's other personalities and stuff out here that's just with the flow, like the way to observing and stuff like that, and the breaking apart my own words, like that wittiness. I love wittiness. Cause like for me, when I feel like I'm witty exile, I'm over a lot of things that I'm not in a frustrated type of mood, but I can still see the frustration trying to pop up. And then like when I'm witty about it, I just like dance around and say some phrase or something. Just stay in that comfortable zone.
Like flexible, able to bend with the stress. You're not taking it on the body through and seeing it at that 30,000-foot level, as well as keeping your feet on the ground, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it's straight up alchemy, like how I used to learn about it in the past before I started throwing my own terms, like like how they say in therapy and stuff, like transform those emotions that or alchemy, that literal energy, and change it around. See the code in
Transmutation.
it. Yeah, that's the word. Transmutation. That's the magical word. Watch me transmute this energy real quick. That's what gets me on high ground. Because I'll be seeing the lows. Because I experienced it before. That's the only reason I know what it is. And I'm like, ooh, what does this button do? Let me just keep pressing it. Hey, Exile, or do you have the YouTube open?
I do.
I was going to show you before I went farther talking this picture. This picture behind me is when I put the foam up to it, Dang,
Hmm.
it's so blurry from far away. I really gotta brighten it up. But this is that picture from the skateboard and the mushroom and stuff. And soon this is
Oh,
going
dope.
like let me give y'all a demo real quick. I know this is a weird segue, but like say this on a shirt. And then when you download the app, it should be able to Oop. Come on, live demo.
There's a little bit of lag, so what I'm seeing
I
is
gotta
like
press the
5
button.
seconds
All
behind
right, here we go.
the
Here we
audio.
go. If I do this, press the button. So hard because I'm looking in the fucking. Oh, let's just do this. Aim your device at target image.
You got a
Oh, I get
Yep.
it. My bad. It's scanning my hand.
you got a QR
All right,
code
I
on
probably
there
have to do this later. But overall, the image is supposed to pop out. I don't know what's going on
on your
with it
phone.
now.
It's AR, right? Augmented reality.
It's like, hey, you live. All right, there we go. Scan one more time. It's a work in progress. Let's leave it at that. The work in progress.
It's AR,
But
right?
overall, I just wanted to show y'all how I can make this image pop out of the picture using the phone and scanning it and everything. But I think this is a darker image or something like that, even though it worked before. And it will pop up and you'll see the animations like come to life. Kind of like hallucinating on psychedelics. Kind of just like hallucinating on psychedelics. There's things popping
That's
out that seem like it shouldn't be. It's the
That's
future, like
augmented
Minority
reality,
Report and
right?
stuff too.
AR.
Oh yeah, a lot of things. And Exile,
Can you
I
hear
actually
me?
was gonna play that. Oh, actually can't hear you. Is this something up my headphones? Yeah, if you was talking, bro, I couldn't hear you. Check. It's something up my headphones too. What the? Test. Even though it's saying it's connected. Oh, dang. Still figuring. There we go. Test. All right. It was connected to my phone, guys. Sorry for that big giant technical fluke. The Bluetooth was connected to my phone and the computer. So since I had that app open, it was like, I think you want to listen to this. And I'm like, you're not even playing nothing.
I take control. I tell you what to do.
I know. It tried.
Hey, that's AR, right? Augmented reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AR. And then
Do you have a
soon when
QR code on that?
No, that's what they offer if the image doesn't load properly. Like you just see it now, you can put
Right.
a QR code on the bottom so that it can still pop up.
I'd probably do that always. You know what I'm saying? Because people like you always want to give the easiest access alongside user support, like onboarding when you figure out as many problems on the backside before you put it on the front, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like Cyberpunk 2077. That game had as many bugs as you can count.
Bro,
I tried playing that live.
the digital world, the metaverse is
There we go.
imagination land. Like Visa just got into it. I posted in tech. They bought a CryptoPunk, which is I don't know if you're familiar with NFTs or the JPEGs that people are buying now. It just sold for $331,000. Visa bought it.
Visa.
Yeah, Visa did.
I've been keeping up with it. I just always be late to the drops. Like the new one was the bathing apes, and they had the monkeys and stuff, and now those are starting to go up. But yeah, wow, they using it as
How
an
do you
investment.
see that? Do you see a use case behind that?
No, because it's not even a 3D object or anything that could be used in the virtual world, just like a painting or something like that. But for that much money, I get, unless it's gonna be like $10,000, you're gonna be broke if you only got 10,000, and that's gonna be the new norm in the in the future. 300,000. I don't really know, bro. I know. I just flipped it all around.
Well, I see it
But
as
yeah,
like
for a
art.
company, yeah, yeah,
So it could be worth 10,000 or 10 million based on however you value it. You know, if value is perceptional.
yeah. I guess in the NFT space, it is free roam to be able to see what the actual creator probably envisioned it, but was like, nah, it will never get that high. But I'm just thinking for a company to do it, like most time companies do stuff this big, I'll be hearing they trying to protect their assets, like they money and put it into something else so it can keep growing like in different areas. That's when you said
Well,
Visa doing it. I was like, oh,
some of that art that you're creating could be NFT. I'm sure you've thought of that. Um, it's awesome to be able
could
to
be.
create.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. No, I'm just supporting. I just think it's awesome.
No, no, you on top of it. The only reason I ain't do it yet is because it costs like $60 to mint a picture, and I have a lot of pictures, so I'm like playing the long game. Like it's gonna come out over time. But
Well,
I'm with
there's
it,
different
and I want to
platforms
make
that
sure.
offer different transaction fees. So if you're going on Ethereum, yeah, you're going to pay their transaction
Yeah,
fee, which is public. But there's other blockchains that are doing the same thing that offer
I
lower
checked it out.
transaction fees.
Yeah, I checked that out. But I want the royalties.
Right.
When you do it that way, they offer lower to no royalties for like when somebody else sells the painting and then that person sell it for something else and that person sell it. When I was looking into that, you don't get that big of a parts in that part. But y'all don't understand why they can't just still throw that in there.
You
But that's how
can.
that coin
Look
is.
into look in
Which one?
komodoplatform.com, specifically the project called Tokel, Tokel. They're just launching, and they're actually having an IDO, which is an initial Dex offering. An initial Dex offering is kind of like an IPO, initial public offering. When a company goes public, they offer an amount of shares to the public to buy in. Well, this offering can be made through a decentralized exchange instead of going through a third-party centralized exchange like Coinbase or let's say JP Morgan or Yahoo, one of these big, a decentralized. This is the incentive behind cryptocurrency, is peer-to-peer transactions. It's me sending you value and nobody standing in the middle. Well, on that base idea, we can now build things like NFTs and interest and lending. You can actually sorry, I don't want to go into all crypto
This is
if you don't
good
want to.
information.
You can actually get on-chain lending. You can get a loan without a bank. AAV.com. Celsius is another option.
Oh yeah, I
I
heard
think
about
there's
that. Unless you live in California. I tried it. I tried getting a loan a couple months ago, but the governor of California blocked it. But if you're in another state, you can
mm,
do it. But we about to vote in a new governor soon, so we'll see what happens with this stuff.
but this option, right? So building, I mean, what you have, your intent to create for the community can now be structurally backed and traded throughout the community without somebody else's censorship option or
Yeah,
being
without
able to
having to
say
sign a
yes or no.
360 deal.
Right.
That's a lot of artists get caught up in. Oh, you good, but you want people to know about you, you gotta come through us. Like if I would have did that a long time ago, people would know. But I'm on this train. That's why I'm glad you're talking about this. Like the technology is here as a tool for our minds to be able to like get into and experience something we wasn't experiencing just 5 years ago, like decentralized land, like being decentralized in so many different ways. Like it's been building up. It's been building up. Like what people say they want to do their own thing nowadays, and now reality helps us out. Like the universe got our back. Just gotta, like you said, just gotta notice the tools around us or get the skills and know how to do it. Well, to want to do it first, and then to be like, oh, this is actually going to help me out. That's been my train. Like, oh, this technology is cool. Like going into, I didn't watch the video yet. I was gonna watch it here of Elon Musk and the robot.
Dude,
Yeah. I'm about to
He
turn
just
it
he
on.
just he just,
Uh-huh.
that style, I like that style. No talk. Let me just give you the shit that I've been working on for the past whatever, and not like no fluff. There's not like media behind it. I don't know if I necessarily, maybe a robot, but we come into. He talked about it. He only made it walk 5 miles an hour and only can pick up 10 pounds. He wants us to be able to run away from it. But you make this available to the public, right? And now it's just like creating anything. It's things are essentially neutral. It's how we use them. So I agree with the progression of the human race, and us to keep building and keep analyze the fruits and the endeavors of our past and make ourselves better, based on however we decide. We decide to drive on a certain. We decide to shake hands with a certain hand. We decide to speak in a certain way. So this is a thing where we're kind of generally deciding as we go along. So, I mean, the more transparently we share this information, that's why I think he made the Tesla patents open source, and a lot of the cryptocurrency is open source. And a lot of projects have done that. There's onboarding, or there's a walled garden to technology, not so much with meditation and source consciousness, but with accessing financial products online, or in an economy. You have to have some kind of unit of value, right? You have to have some kind of thing to be traded. And in this new economy, there is you have to have a computer, a technology, a device to access the network. So it's not all fucking glitz and glam. It's not like a golden ticket, but there are, with anything, there's a pros and cons. So I just wanted to outline these things in depth. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that makes sense, Exile. That makes sense. Us having the capability to do things. So that's what we've been, as human beings, fighting for so long about, or at least fighting and arguing. I don't say at least arguing, but fighting and arguing about. Oh, money rule the world. Oh, cash money. And then you hear people say, oh, it's not money that's evil. It's just the love of money is the root of evil. And then you hear people say, no, money is good, but the Federal Reserve just sucks. And then you get into all of the Rothschilds and the people that the 1%, and be like, and remember all the rallies we had back in the day, like wasn't even that long ago, about Wall Street and people saying the 1%, like fuck the 1%. All these
Right.
protests was going on and stuff, saying, oh, all these people have everything that we as a society in this point in time came together to term is valuable enough to trade for other items, and they have all of it. So how about we start coming up with something else that's we can term as value, and go from there. It's gonna be a rocky road. And the thing is, around these times, it was people already working on this. Like Bitcoin been out for a long time, like while these rallies was going on. So these like people that wasn't in the forefront, like typing away, talking and networking, having these ideas of a new system of currency. And with all that come all the shadowness of it too, like you said, Exile. Like some things they can be like, well, we can't just help if this happens. We just have to see how it rides out. Like we put this creation out into the world, like putting out a baby. Like if you have a kid, that kid gonna go do some things you never expected.
Bro, it's easy to create consciousness. It's fucking hard to understand it.
Yeah, that kid gonna go and do something. You like, now why would you just go and do that? But then if you understand the openness, you're like, oh, you're developing. This is part of the developmental process. So let me not be that monster in that developmental process that just don't understand nothing about you, but say, oh, I
Well,
see where this can go.
Tesla's bot learns the dojo learning program, so you can
Uh-huh.
teach it. I'll be able to teach it how to super crop, and how to make a compost tea, and how to trim a bud. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yo, I'm not gonna
there'll
actually
be a
watch it.
rapid advancement pretty quick with this AI. Like
Yo, can you click on the screen on the Discord? I think that way you can see what I see on YouTube. Because I actually didn't see none of the video yet.
yeah, let's go.
Oh wait, how did this get like this? Hold on. Stream is still. I gotta adjust the screen for everybody on Facebook, on YouTube. I thought it was cool that whole time. But the thing about it, when I maximize the screen, like if I maximize the Discord screen, the ratio on OBS, which is what I use to stream, will just reorganize itself. All right,
Just play it for them the best.
I know, I got it. I've been working it out while you was talking, so they can just go. And say stream still running. Mouse. Play. Oh. I guess it doesn't work like that.
I see it now.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Let me see if it's on YouTube.
No, it's just a black screen. I think they don't want me to stream this way.
Right.
Yeah, it's a literal black screen. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I just put it on Chrome. OBS, like, no, you can't do pirate videos that easily. But if you do it this way, you can. All right, here it is. Let's see about this Tesla bot. There we go. All right, I want to see it move. I wonder if Grimes made the beat. Is this a full presentation? Wait, is it dancing? This is real, right?
Unlike Dojo, obviously that was.
Oh. Wait a second.
All right. Thank you.
The dexterity in the joints.
Now,
Or was that?
Unlike Dojo, obviously that was not real.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Dojo
I'm
is real.
like,
the Tesla bot will
that
be real.
dexterity is too much.
But basically, if you think about what we're doing right now with the cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest.
Nice
robotics
joke,
company,
Elon.
because,
Nice
cars
joke.
Are like
got me.
semi-sentient robots on wheels, and with the full self-driving computer, essentially the inference engine on the car, which will keep evolving, obviously, and Dojo, and all of the neural nets recognizing the world, understanding how to navigate through the world. It kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. And we're also quite good at sensors and batteries and actuators. So we think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this.
Oh.
Be friendly, of course, and navigate through a world built for humans, and eliminate dangerous repetitive.
Yo, this thing is around my weight. I weigh like 10 more pounds. 5'10".
Level, at a physical level, you can run
5'9".
And most likely overpower it. So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you never know. So it'll be a
You said you never know.
A light, yeah, anyway, 5 miles an hour. You can run past it now, you'll be fine.
The thing he's saying is, you'll be fine. Like,
5'8".
I should always be fine.
Has sort
But
of
I
the
get it,
screen
though.
where the head is for useful information, but it's otherwise basically got the autopilot system in it, so it's got cameras, got 8 cameras, and full self-driving computer, and making use of all of the same tools.
That's
that
what
we
you
use
was
in the
talking
car.
about, X out of dojo training.
I mean, things I think that are really hard about having a useful humanoid robot is can it navigate through the world without being explicitly trained? I mean, without explicit, like, line-by-line instructions. Can you talk to it and say, please pick up that bolt and attach it to the car with that wrench, and it should be able to do that.
Oh.
It should be able to, please go to the store and get me the following groceries.
AI for general purpose robotics.
Yeah, I think we can do that. And yeah, this I think will be quite profound, because if you say, like, what is the economy? It is, at the foundation, it is labor. So what happens when there is, no shortage of labor? This is why I think long term that there will need to be universal basic income. Yeah. But not right now, because this robot doesn't work. So we just need a minute. So yeah, but I think essentially in the future, physical work will be a choice. If you want to do it, you can, but you won't need to do it. And yeah, I think it obviously has profound implications for the economy, because given that the economy at its foundational level is labor, I mean, capital equipment is just distilled labor, then is there any actual limit to the economy? Maybe not. So, yeah.
Is there an actual limit to the economy? In his vision.
We'll have everyone come back on the stage, and you guys can ask questions if you'd like. Yeah.
Is that the actual robot this time? I think so. The music is just so funny and captivating. That's Elon Musk is funny. The way they his team put that presentation together. Oh, Elon is funny. Elon is funny. What you were saying? Oh, how did I get out the chat? I didn't know it kicked me off.
Yeah, you're all the way out.
I didn't know that whole time. Right when I clicked off exit the video, it cut out everything. But that was cool. That was cool. That was cool when he was talking about the economy, his vision for it, and labor, and how people already started saying, like, oh, we're gonna lose our jobs to robots and stuff like that, like McDonald's and fast food places.
Well, that's what they said about horses and cars, and there's always going to be changes. That's why this fucking vaccine, in my opinion, is dumb as fuck. Sorry but it's like, there's no way you're going to be able to legislate away free will. There's no way you're going to make something and keep yourself safe from any other atrocities that come out in life. No, you never know what the tide's going to bring. This world came as an explosion from a star. So, and literally there is destruction inherent innately in our reality. That is powerful and valuable to understand. It is not a weakness or a detriment to understand destruction.
Yeah.
No, understand.
Yeah, it is. It is, Excel. Because then we'll be trying to keep everything together, no matter what. No matter what.
Right. And the more you squeeze your hand around something, the more it leaks through your fingers.
All the way. And that goes like relationships and everything. Like, if you ain't really seeing what's going on, like, destruction is part of it. Trying to continuously not let something happen or not let something occur. That's when things be taken advantage of, and then you got all these things and fears popping up, and because you don't want to have that destruction or chaos factor come into play, it's like even though it's at play with you even freaking out, it just transferred to you freaking out. In a sort of alchemical way, the energy still goes somewhere. But yeah, things are not always in our control as we think it is. It's like downloadable content just come to the world, and we gotta see what we can do with it. Like in the video game, new packages, new scenarios, like everybody to deal with. Hey, welcome to the show, Yuel. One of the humans' natural ability is to rebel against nature. All the way, or else it wouldn't be happening as we see it. Like, I remember used to bring that up, Exile. Like, what is natural and what is unnatural? Like, is there really a difference? Or as I started putting it, like, people term things based off of if it benefits them or if it doesn't benefit them. Like, oh, if it don't benefit me, I hate that shit. It don't help me out. Nobody.
Values perceptional.
Yeah, values perceptional. It's perceptional, reflective. Show you what you even taking. See if you want to do something else in the moment. They do a lot of things. And that go into that debate. I don't even want to go into that 2,000-year-old argument right now, but just going over the surface of it, of God and the devil. Like, oh, the devil made me do this, or oh, God must have been looking out for me today. Like, what, was he not looking out for you yesterday? Just all these plays just to keep ourselves seeming like we on a linear passage, a linear path. Like, I'm going from here to here. Like, things don't go in a loop. He said they are designed to find. You need something, I? Need a tablet?
I think things are spherical, like
Pencil?
having the shape of a spiral, not necessarily coming back across the same circle, but it extends in another dimension.
Yeah,
in a way.
I see what you mean. Still connected. When you were saying that, I was breaking apart the circle, so you got like two edges, and then just shifting those two edges through portals,
Right.
where they just keep linking back up with each other at some point. Even probably a different version of itself link up with each other.
Yo, you see the new Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Nope, I didn't see the
It's
third
on-
one yet.
Wow!
I've been talking about I was going to watch it, but I didn't see it yet because I like to take a little dose. Like, I like to be in the heat of when I'm watching that show, and I don't want people to be all distracting me. I'm like, no, I want to be the gaming character right now, and all these other people right now. But no, did you see the other ones?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, cool. With the Avas and everything, Shasi let me know what it was. I kept calling them the angels. I was like, no, it's not. But dealing with, I think you brought that up because of the time realities, different realities going on.
Yeah. And that bridges it back because they're like, we talk about ether, we talk about dream world, we talk about antimatter, we talk about things that are opposite of what we are, as if we know what we are. And it's very interesting.
Yeah, we talk about that's a good one. We talk about the opposites of things as opposite of us, as if we know what we are. Yep. That's why when it comes to my reality, I play Looney. I play the Looney Tune. And I reserve the right to switch up what I said. Like, if I said this one day and I say something different, that's just how it is. Like, you can't, if you holding me to that, then I can't. That's how I get into arguments with people around me too. I'm like, I understand, but it's different. But I understand personal responsibility and everything too on the grounding scale. Just to let y'all put that out there. But how do we really know what's going on? How can we really call out an opposite? We only do our best to capability grasp onto something. Or have the mind state at times to grasp onto nothing and just let it go. Like yesterday, I thought I was sick. I didn't know what made me sick, but I think it was the ribs I ate or something. But I was like, yo, I was going through it. I was just breathing. I was just breathing, had to get in the tub and stuff. Like my body was overheating, I couldn't take smells and stuff. Smells was overpowering me. But I just had to throw up after like 20 minutes of sitting and breathing, and then I felt better. But during that process, I was just like, all right, what's going on? Because you know the world and all the fears and stuff going on. I was like, yo, what's happening? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Da 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 da. But then I just came back to breath. I was let me just focus on the sound of my breath. Then it start coming out. Everything's all right, even if it's the worst thing right now. Even if it's the worst thing happening, it's just what's happening right now. And and like I was even thinking, like you can stone me, you can do whatever you got to do. Like it is what it is. Like I'm not going to run around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like, oh, I'm dead, but I don't know I'm dead. What does death mean? Let me run around for a couple seconds. And then look at my head and freak out on the ground. Let me just see what the moment is. See what the moment is. Because the fears that we all, like you said, the fears of trying to not wanting to deal with destruction and chaos and stuff. Like my girlfriend was saying, Jamina, she was saying, yeah, I don't think you're used to being sick because how I always react in my mind to it, but my mind just be putting all these scenarios out there when those things happen, and I just had to sit and I just had to breathe, or else I'll be thinking, oh, what if it was because of this, or oh man, I wish I would have never did this. Like I be getting whole life reviews when I'm sick. I don't just be. That's why I appreciate it. I was like, I got a whole life review. I came back and I'm better now in my psyche and my body.
Hey, I put something in general that links up kind of what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
So, no, it's a thing on Facebook. Hopefully you can watch it. If not, I'll describe it.
Thinking it up now. Hey, well, you said in each form we only know what it is, only beyond we know what we are. Yeah, we just get that. We just had that sense. But here we just part of the puzzle, piece of the puzzle. And you said breathing will help your body do its self-check. Hey, Block.
Hey, what's up, Ty?
Yo, how's it going?
Another day in paradise over here.
Hey, that's what's up. You got something you want to chime in with?
No, I was just saying, Exile's got to explain what that is. I don't got a Facebook, so I can't open that link.
All right, I'm about to open it up now on Chrome. I mean on the internet.
Yeah.
Got it now. Do. Oh, let me turn on the volume.
It's a pastor. It looks like he's talking to a congregation. He's got a woman on stage in front of him, and he's gonna do a presentation about his, a little idea he's running with.
Gotcha. I'm about to play it right now.
Bending like this again. You want it? I shouldn't believe when I say still want it? Girl, I'm gonna throw this. Still want that?
We're gonna talk over it too because of the music. So I'm gonna keep on talking. What's he stomping on? I got lost here.
Start it over again. Start it over again.
Cause it never lost its value. So, you got it, go ahead. You've been beaten, you've been bruised, you've been twisted, you've been thrown down time after time, but you still got value. Just cause you took a hit don't mean you lost value. You're still amazing. You're still fit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it now. He stumped on $1, say it's still worth $1. It still ain't losing none of what it is.
Yeah, she hands him a $20 bill, and he folds it up, and he says, "You still want it?" She goes, "Yeah." And he crumples it up in his hand, and he says, "You still want it?" She goes, "Yeah." He throws it on the ground and stomps on it. Stomp, 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 stomp. He's stomping like 20 times. He said, "You still want it?" She goes, "Yeah." He says, "That's right. You got it. No matter how you've been beat," he goes into, you've been beat, you've been crumpled up, you've been twisted, but you still got value. That never changes. Like
Mm-hmm.
what you are never goes away.
That's reminded me of this Korn song. Do you know the band Korn?
For sure.
I'm
They
trying to
played a
think.
huge part of my youth.
I'm trying to I don't remember the song, but it was something about being broken but not throwing away the pieces. Like don't throw away the pieces and stuff because it's still valuable. Oh man, it was one that they played that they unplugged MTV set when they played everything acoustically with Amy Lee.
I love corn.
Yeah, that was a big part of my upbringing as well. All in. Oh, there it is. It's called Coming Undone.
Oh yeah, great song.
And soon wait, here it is. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait. Oh no, that's not the song I'm talking about. That is a good song though. It is a good song. What's the transition? Yeah, it's all the songs. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to find it if y'all can see right here. This is what I was doing. Just trying to hurry up and click on one and see if it pop up. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's what value is. Value is perception. Like I'll pick up pennies from the ground. Add them up, they'll turn into something eventually. Old good old fashioned coin jars or good old fashioned buying a little bit of crypto here and there. If it now look like something now or viable now. But hey, we gonna see.
Or the strengths that you have, and softness may be a strength. Being able to relate to others may be a strength. And just because somebody says be strong, your strength might be to relate, which is seen as a weak thing. It's not like muscle building, but you're building a different type of muscle. Like emotional intelligence versus what is that? EQ versus IQ.
Uh-huh. That makes sense. You're making me think of another song by Bjork I was going in my mind about yesterday. About it was a song about who's a relationship and her having emotional intelligence as opposed to like you said what was the other one you said?
Well,
EI and IE.
Well, IQ is intelligence
IQ.
quotient.
There we go. Yeah.
And then EQ is emotional quotient, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's
or
real.
Equalizer.
Independent on it is a strength that, like you said, will get beat down or say, hey, that's not really a superpower or something like that, or something that shouldn't be done is something that's part of the human condition that you have to like be tough about so you don't get pushed over and pushed around and stuff like that. And that's why they put bullies and everything so prominently, like, oh, you don't want to get bullied. And if that, you got to fight back. And you do got to fight back because you know how people wind up on opposite sides of the fields and stuff when they born. Even though bullied people bully other people in the future. So they ain't really the opposite.
Well, you see how you shied away from the devil and God thing, and yet we're right back here because we create these things. We have things are inherently neutral. Yeah. I could be fucking thirsty and dying from thirst, walk across the desert, find a glass of water and choke on it and die because I didn't use it properly. Or I could drink it and live happily, hopefully. But we bring these things. There's no blessed devil here. If there is, it's in the opportunity to be separate, to see yourself as separate from what's going on. How is anything separate? Anything anywhere? No, it's not. It's all part of something. I don't even have a
thought about it.
And so that opportunity, that choice, that the choice that source makes to be separate, the eye cannot see itself. You can't see your eyes without something else there. That's logical explanation of I need something else there to be able to reflect who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, you're right about that. what I was shying away from was my personal story and dealing with relating to people and stuff like that. Because just as so people can get so you can get a little thing too. Just about my life is that at times I be running away from trying to relate to anybody. Not recently and stuff, but with like us I hear like yesterday when I was working at the place, I was working by myself there for a long time, like for a good like 4 hours. It was just me, my music and stuff like that. And then somebody new came onto the field. And I know from previous years how I get. Like I will if I'm around other people in this environment, it's like the kind of people that come into this environment I'm working and they like real it's a certain vibe that we just connect
Right.
with. So I was like, all right, let me stay out here because I know how things gonna get. And I want to like hurry up and do this so I can go back and go on my computer and finish my renders and everything. But then I just heard something in my mind. It was just like the best way to put it, the easiest way to put it, like, just something in my mind. It's like, all right, let's just go in there real quick. And then when I went in there, it was exactly what I expected. That we was going to be relating. And now I told about the Todd channel. So she said, oh, I got a story I want to tell you about that. So then we was talking about her story and stuff. So that seems to be something that pops up. So for me, living life and being and trying to be on the outside observer while still, like you said, it's no separation. So it's still, I'm here at the same time. I'm working with it's not even, it's like I'm working and trying to see at the same time just what's to happen with my life. Because I like alone time, but also people, I like to relate. I like to talk to people. Like when I'm actually in the groove, I'm in the groove. Like as soon as in 0.0 seconds. Like 0.10 seconds. I'm in it. I'm in it. So it's different moods and different personalities and things that I see can go on forever depending on what's going on. And like even in my own personal, like in my own household, it seemed like it's people that's in my face that's like, hey, I want to talk to you and stuff. But for me personally, I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that because then I feel indifferent on the other side about me emoting. But that comes what we was talking about before, Exile, like not fighting to be understood, but just being who you are, even if that destruction is the misunderstanding. Like just be comfortable, being comfortable with everything. Because who are we really to defend a point in position so much at times? Like psychedelics be bringing that out all the like they got me in that zone. That's why even when I go into something like a little later or a breath later or something, if I'm in it, it's like, wait a second, what am I doing right now? What is even going on? Or not even what is even going on. I just see what's going on. It's like, oh, it's like a shock, but not a bad shock, just like a awareness shock, being aware of what's happening in the situation. And then with my thing that come on is how to pronounce it after that. like personally things going at the house, like do I walk away or do I say, oh, I got this thought and it actually makes sense, so let me say it. So in my life I went through all of these different avenues, so now I'm seeing like whatever the case is, people like I said, it's a bunch of different people. That's why I don't even like to make judgment calls, because we'll make a judgment call so fast, but that was just our interaction with this particular group of people. It don't make it true for interactions with every single. Yes, Isla. Huh? It don't make it true with the interactions with every single group of people. It's just when these energies come together, that's what it is. And when these group of energies come together, that's what it is.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, birds of a feather flock together.
Eagles will soar with eagles.
And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. With anything. Like how we try to hold on to certain ideas, like even with me building and going into different avenues, like I do a lot of different things and trying to be artistic and things like that. And now I'm seeing like the avenue was kind of narrow and it's kind of becoming more narrow. At the same time, I'm still seeing things in the
Mm.
long term, but I'm seeing things more narrow. Like this is what I want to output. Like I want to output things in this kind of essence. And it's like I want to do
Focusing.
yeah, actually focusing. Actually focusing, but not in the way that that deals with frustration and like the average way of focusing. Like yeah, it's like a clear-minded way because it's actually filled with experiences and imaginations. It's not just something I'm trying to make up and don't have a foot in or anything like that. And that deals with
You're
mushrooms, talking, and the 3D animation. And like it kind of go back to everything I wanted to do at the start, but but didn't really have the means to do it. Just the imagination, and then all this other stuff will pop in the way because of, oh, I gotta make some money. I gotta have a way to live, and which is still true. That's why it's still all popping up. But I will try. I'm a hustler, and I grew up in North Philly, seeing everybody try everything, like the dudes to make a living and scatter themselves so much. But I really want to develop something that when I produce it, it is shocking even to myself. And I'm getting those vibes with like the 3D animation and talking and doing the show and things like this every time. It's like, oh, that just happened. And even with skateboarding, it's like, wow, that just happened. Like giving my physical exercise up and things like that. And I saw your
what's the
pictures. You was
what's
you was
the
at the
first
skate park.
bro? What's the first? Let's talk about yeah, for sure, got to. But what's your first thing that you would use the Tesla bot for?
What would I use the Tesla bot for?
If you had one right now, like sitting in your room after the live, what would you do?
My first
Does it
thought
have a
was the
pussy?
smoke. You said do it have a pussy. Hey, give it about 5-10 years. Somebody gonna modify one. Like if you just move these pieces over a little bit. I was gonna say smoke with it. So we both thinking like 10 years down the lane, 10-50 years. But
Well, you brought up skateboarding. What? It's
skateboard.
got to learn.
I
It's
wouldn't want to break it though. But yeah, eventually.
it's got to be. You got to be. My first thought was, is it waterproof? Like the rain or like pools or puddles. Like, is that going to damage it?
How nimble are the fingers? Can it like roll a blunt? Like I need more
Seriously.
details. And like, are they working on shit behind the scenes? Like, is this just what we're seeing? Because it kind of seems very sudden for something that human looking compared to all the other shit we've seen them release. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
They already got a lot of programs for it that they didn't talk about. Like they just talked about it doing everyday jobs and stuff. But what is
Well, and
the
they kept talking about how like it's not dangerous and it's like below our physicality. It's like, they got a model that's better than this already. They probably got 3 of them they're working on. Like, this is some bullshit with all their government contracts and everything. Like,
No, I think that I'm with you. I'm with you, just like with the iPhones and everything. Like they don't come out with phones every year by just saying, "All right, we just came out with the 11. Now let's start working on the 12." Like they already got their concepts based off of the material that's available off the time and the concepts that was proven in experiments that can now be like brought into a bigger development and try to get it implemented into like something that can be pushed out to the public. Like with VR headsets block, it's a lot of VR headsets that's only available commercially. And Thrill Seeker, a YouTuber, he actually got to play with a $8,000 VR headset that's only used by the military, and they use it for combat simulation with jets and things like that. So it has a real wide FOV, like field of vision, and it's like real 4K resolution. It tracks your eyes and where you looking at, so it can render it in certain areas better. The sound system it's like way superb than the commercial versions. So it's like you said, it's always at work. It's always at work. They got this better version of what we just enjoy into our heart's content. Like this is the best thing. But sometimes you gotta take what they give us. But like I said, then look at it and envision our own thing. Like if it's open source, like if the Tesla bot, if it's supposed to be open source, then somebody can probably come up with something that they didn't even think about yet. And that would be cool. Like they make a grimy hood, a hood Tesla bot. Just because. Or a teacher. And work in a school or something like that. That would be a lot though. That would be a lot. But that's why they're saying everyday jobs like flipping burgers and frying the fries in a deep fryer and stuff like that. Or probably even driving, like in Demolition Man. Where the AI was driving. Just to, even if the car driving itself, just to make it give us like a human semblance of comfort.
American Airlines just invested I think it was hundreds of millions into AI pilots, so they wouldn't have to actually have real pilots in the plane. Like that's coming. Same with the AI truck drivers. Like it might take 20, 30 years, but that's coming.
Yeah. And I think it's all got to do on the bigger scale, on the deep scale or whatever scale, on just what I'm thinking about how we are making ourselves relaxed as being human beings so that we can do other things with our mind processes and be able to do other things while we're existing. Like if the little things that we attend to, like if we have a technology or something that's able to handle it, then we can do something else. We can handle some other things. Because if it's mundane, like we're humans calling it mundane. So at some point it must be mundane. Like we're probably still at that state of beings of humans where we're like, no, we still got to work. We still got to go out in the streets and hustle. We still got to do this or else it ain't going to work. And it won't work. If we don't hustle or do things right now, we won't have products and like everyday items and stuff like that. Somebody got to make it. Somebody got to bring it up. Oh, hey, Velvet. I didn't see you in there.
I think we're always going to come probably back to this value perception. You know, does something grown with human hands or grown in the dirt versus under lights in a high intensity discharge, aquaponic, salt fed, ran by robotics is what's the value of just certain things? I mean, I think I don't know. Here in the U.S., it's easy to talk about these things, right? Because we have access to phones and running water and electricity and stuff. But the leisures that we afford ourselves are wanted by the global community as well. Is the Earth able to sustain a certain level of leisurely activity? Is there enough metals? Is there enough, so maybe there is. I think probably would be most beneficial if a global survey was done of all things available. I don't know if everybody's going to necessarily submit to that, but if we, are going to build and take account of what we can do to move forward, then, a transparent inventory of sorts, how much metal do we got? Well, I don't know if we can't even agree on well, I guess the Olympics are a good thing. We can't agree on some things globally, but I don't know. I don't know the answers, man. There's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, you see how the Olympics still went. The poverty rate? Say that again?
Yeah, they're saying poverty's been going down for decades, but they have the poverty rate at $1.70 per day. And it's like all the fucking leading statistics say you need at least $5 to live. And poverty rate's literally at 50% of the globe, at least right now. Like 50% of the globe lives off of less than $1.70 a day, which is just unfathomable to me.
Yeah, it is. It's what's happening. That's why crypto and people with some good hearts or with some hearts that wish to help people in those kind of areas are like trying to use crypto in different areas to get systems and stuff out to other people. And that still come with the give and take.
Well, hemp. I mean, you can grow hemp seed and eat hemp seed and get a lot of good benefits. Renew the earth, provide for your family and community, and have a sustainable product. So there are ways that have been done in the past. It just hasn't been what you say commercially applied, right? There's a lot of things that are done on the fringes of society, let's call it, or culture, that are the most beneficial ways to do them. They're just not mass applied, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And there's a whole bunch of other people deciding what's best for their own communities. You know, we have people called chiefs or CEOs or, you know, presidents or heads. Right. This idea of a person that holds the power of, and so these are all things we have to work with, you know.
It's a system.
Right. If people in Australia are getting mandated to stay inside, you know, forced lockdown, or something about vaccines and COVID and masking and all that. I mean, here we're available to walk around free. People, women can walk around free and show their face here. People in other countries, they can't necessarily do that. You know, like, is it fascist? Is it egotistical? This is the honest question. Is it egotistical to know a way and then want that way for everybody else? Or is it better to have or let people choose for themselves?
Like, I don't.
Oh, you go first.
No. I was just gonna say, like, I think it comes down to like the emotions of the individual within the system, because like people literally think having 90 different flavors of cat food to choose from like will legitimately make them happier on some superficial level. So like that's really the only hurdle there. It's like there's people living in societies in which they still chase animals and hunt for their food, you know. Foraging society still exists, so we're able to exist in that format. It's just about convincing everybody and having them be able to see what the purpose of it would be, which is kind of like impossible.
Yeah,
like my mind's been changed in my lifetime, but I know plenty of people that aren't gonna put any thought into it because they don't have to.
No, it's fun. You can't override. You can't override people dopamines and serotonin. If they getting them hits from stuff, they gonna keep getting them hits, even if they don't know that that's what's causing it. Like, I feel good when I do this stuff. Like, what you mean? Like, it's they like when you was mentioning can't take a horse to the pond and force it to drink. And make it drink. You can force it. You can force his head in the water, but then it's going to drown because it can't breathe. Now what? Now you got a dead horse. And that's been my experience. Like me saying, hey, I got this fucking well right here. We can all drink from here if you just see what's going on. It's like, I'm killing motherfuckers. I'm drowning them. And then I look back and say, oh man, I just killed somebody. Oh, and then the Joker come up and be like, well, they wanted it. And then the other one be like, well, it didn't even have to be like this because now you're part of this energy still too. So it's like, man, I got this over here. If you want to tie, catch me on the tie side. Like and
that's
we can
my
keep
answer
building
too.
and do stuff.
Because you're never gonna legislate away free will, somebody's right to choose. You're never gonna make a platform. You're never gonna make a way of life that says that outlaws that free choice. And that's just the choice to use the knife to cut the bread or to stab somebody or whatever, you know. Despair versus hope. You know, this is the two things that are outlined in the newest Ava series. What's it called? Neon Evangelion, Neon Genesis. These are mountains and hills we climb through in life, and you know, saying that thing is always going to be one way. We were talking about earlier, like a cookie cutter. How just because you have one experience, you can't really apply it to the mass. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. So there is that talent or that. What is that gift or it's like pattern recognition, or like sometimes you just know a certain way to do things,
Yep.
and
Like
sometimes you can
yesterday,
pass those things. Go ahead.
I'd say like yesterday when I came in, I was just say real fast. Yesterday when I came in, I saw the my daughter and her cousin on the computer, and I was like, "Yo, why was they on my computer?" I had the feeling, just an example of foresight. And then I was like, "All right, it's cool, nothing happened." Then later I was like, "Oh, my mouse was actually broken." Sometimes it be happening. I was like, "I said don't play on the computer and stuff like that when I'm not here." So some things just completely out of your control, even when you see stuff like foresight, even for like the psychics and stuff out here. It come in that so Raven type scenarios where you see, and then things still gonna happen. But sometimes
Exactly.
yeah. So just you can continue. You go with yours.
No, that's you find a base balance, a base
Mm-hmm.
structure of operating at 7 years old, at 5 years old, at 10 years old, at 12. As the days go on, the structure continuously changes. Sometimes, some days you come across a fight or a promotion or a sickness or something good or bad that you mark as a rite of passage. Maybe you cross archetypes. We were talking about archeons earlier, and that's where you started the conversation with. Me and Elevator were talking about these archetypes, and I referred to them as the first 22 of the tarot
Mm-hmm.
are could be construed or understood as the archetypes. These or the archeons. These
The major
we
arcana, starting with the fool and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Right. These things we work toward, I don't know if they're embedded in this reality. I don't know if it's Western civilization. There's definitely like archetypes throughout this world, right? You look at different cultures or different stories about different things, and there's a way to live life kind of shown throughout these stories. And that's the ultimate power of a story. You tell the story the correct way, and the moral or the understanding can be construed or developed from just hearing it or absorbing it, because it's like throwing a ball. Like, no matter what you do, if you throw a ball, it's going to fucking go somewhere. You don't have to know the reasons or the philosophy of throwing the ball. You can learn that later. It
Yeah.
goes into like that's
And
what
then
I'm
you'd be
saying.
just learning about yourself.
Consciousness is easy to create but hard to understand. Like, I don't know how my heart is beating, or where my thoughts are, or certain things. Like, we could go down the rabbit hole, but we understand these things and grasp onto them, name them for a certain amount of time, use them as a cookie cutter, but they're not really applicable in all certain. I don't know if we're finding new language for this. Maybe that, and Terrence McKenna was talking about this too. Languaging, the ability to enunciate something to the community, ultimately affects the reality of it, of the
Yeah.
reality of the thing. Yeah,
Somebody
I'm
actually
having
speaking
hard.
up.
I'm yeah.
Like somebody speak up already. Somebody say something. Yeah, and that's why people naturally gravitate towards some people with those kind of personality types with leadership qualities and things. Hey, Charles the Awakened, thanks for coming by. And people like gravitate people with leadership because we always like looking for something new and fresh, like period. I'm always looking for something new and fresh, and not even me like, oh, what's new and fresh, but just what happens when it happens. Like, oh wow, like those moments, the moments in life. Like that's that fresh feel. That's we do a lot of things to feel fresh. I was thinking about taking showers and like different things we do, different perfumes and colognes, the way we dress, and just to feel a certain way. Like you said, it's not so cookie cutter. That can change up, and other people got different ways that they dress and get washed and feel fresh about themselves. It's all about seeing what we're going to do, what we personally doing in that moment. I think like when they said in the Bible, when they said take care of the Adam and Eve had to tend to the garden and all the beasts and all the land and stuff like that. Like I see Exile as Adam and Eve as us. like personally me, like
Mm.
my inner natures as they came and densed down into reality. And that's one of the stories that was told in one of the histories and stuff. But sticking with the Adam and Eve thing, so tending to the garden and everything, like that's my body. Like that's what I have to attend to. What's going on? I need my body, but like my decisions, my awareness and stuff like that. Cause a bunch of beasts and land and a bunch of things
Ah,
going on.
there be wild things there.
Yeah, I used to love that book. You talking about the book when
Yeah,
he
I love that book.
yeah, the little boy and he saw the monsters. He was in his pajamas and stuff like that.
Huh?
That book was so I'm just having vivid memories of me being in school holding a book. I'm like, yo, where the wild things are. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go back through the comment real quick.
As True would say, it's a wicked understanding.
Yeah, it is. That's why I used to love the Brits and how they talk their language and stuff when they say wicked awesome or that was wicked cool or stuff like that. Because it was always like this edginess to it. But I was like, oh, I get it though. I get why they using that. Like in Harry Potter. I found myself doing a lot of accents growing up. I still do. That's why I laugh with my daughter when she do hers. I was bringing up to her last week. I said, remember you used to put on a country accent? I used to talk like this and go. And
we call it a hickashaw. We call it a hickasaw.
Hickasaw.
Speaking of hickashaw.
Like she was about it. I don't know what TV show she was watching a lot. I've kind of forgotten now. Then she had a British accent from watching Peppa Pig and other shows. I think this other princess show. And just her being and stuff like that. And now she know how to play around with different things. It's cool. It's cool. 'Cause I was like, I was doing the same thing, acting like I was Japanese and watching anime and British, watching Harry Potter and all this other stuff. And that's the vibe. Oh, you wrote I think you wrote this a while ago when we was talking about technology. You said you are the they that builds everything, but few ever get to put their name on it. Yeah, talking about Tesla and everything. Yeah, yep. We build it ourselves, who we are. Like that's why they even put out in lamest terms, like the phone is an extension of yourself already.
Yo, what if I just had this thought? It's kind of like a fantasy thought, but
How's
what
it going?
if Elon's really working on the old school Nikola Tesla information and can power everything like really real with the DC current, you know? I said
Yeah.
fucking I
No, I think you're
What if
right.
he's just gonna drop that on every? You know, here we're online now. Everybody's got free power. You know what are they gonna do if he just does it? You know, like or
No,
what? Yeah, so
uh-huh. I was just going to take the power away from him and say his developers. That's the only thing I was trying to say. His
for
developers are
sure,
going to do it.
for sure, for sure. But giving it to because what you said is putting, or what you all said is putting the name on it. He didn't name it fucking Elon Musk or whatever. He named it Tesla. And Tesla carries a lot of weight, you know. I mean, it's probably all old Ankh energy, you know, but old Ankh energy is just the thing that we're calling it here in this last 50,000 years or whatever. It could be, you know, millions or trillions of years older than that, and called so many different things. I don't think things really matter what you call them.
Yeah, because I know what you mean. That the thing that just comes back in different realities or time points.
Right. Archetypes.
Yeah, archetypes. Yeah, they said Tesla was an eccentric man as well, just like Elon, but he was in a way that other people didn't really like his ideas. Like they would say, "Oh, you're a little too much in how you present yourself," and things like that. And they called him a kook, like other scientists and stuff like that. So it is a big energy. It is a big energy with the Tesla and trying to come into the world and stuff like that and make the ideas known. Because you don't hear any other company really talking about that so publicly. Like saying they trying to work on free energy and stuff like that and help the world. like in terms of free
Right.
energy. And no,
Right.
even researching it, like, yeah, we're just researching this type of stuff. They like, nah, we
Giving you
got
the
the code.
patents too. Here's the patents. Who else is doing that?
Yeah, that's big.
I don't
That's
know
big,
anybody,
Exile. They don't even release the patents on all their solar panels and stuff. Hmm. He said, Uel said he might do a very cheap network so people can link to the net everywhere with Starlink. Yeah, I forgot all about Starlink. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put the satellites in the sky and have low radar internet or something that he called it. I watched it a while ago. I think all Japanese car companies have robot designs. That's talking about Honda stuff. They got to, I just found out that Mitsubishi is a bank and not just a car company. I was watching George Exile. He was talking about Mitsubishi. I was like, they are a bank? They do other things than design cars?
I think they started making tanks or planes. I think their sign is a propeller. The three things, I think it's a propeller. I could be wrong.
No, that
I know
plane. I was gonna say
I know
that plane.
BMW is definitely a propeller.
No, they was working with building some Nazi technology back then. But even General Motors was back then building tanks for the Nazis.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the Japanese and stuff and how they actually them tanks and airplanes you was talking about, they gonna come together in form of Voltron. That's what they working on. Like, we got big plans in the work.
They just bust out an Ava real quick. So through Bob Lazar's testimony and some of the fucking the Montauk. I don't know if you follow the Montauk project where they're trying to pilot one of these craft, and the people who could pilot it were empaths because they could feel where they wanted to go. And that's the same thing you do when you remote view or you lucid dream. These crafts are probably living too in some aspect in some kind of civilization, but the ones that we have are mostly, I believe, manufactured in some aspect. They're not actually living.
Or they're just not don't you know how we need all of these cells and everything in order to communicate that we alive? Or if they just don't have enough to communicate.
Right.
But they actually are like all conscious things. They still have thoughts about them. We probably anthropomorphize things a lot, like put human ideas on it. They probably think of things in their own type of ways and stuff like that. And then as we keep upgrading them, they say they finally start coming to a certain form of awareness of communication or wanting to communicate. Like, they probably don't need to communicate because it's not built into them to communicate.
Right. Does consciousness, this is the question of consciousness, like where does consciousness reside? Is it a requirement of existence?
Nope. I don't think you don't have to exist to be conscious, because that just means I'm conscious of you. I'm aware of you. I'm not aware of everything. That don't mean it don't exist. Yo, like, I forgot all about this. Duel reminded me. He said that when we talk about Gundams and stuff like that, Japan actually have a gun. I saw this on TikTok. They actually have a Gundam that walks around. I didn't know if this was fake or not, but it's actually real. Me RX-78 too. It can bend down, and it can apparently move independently. Of what? Of a remote control, or? Like, it's 16 feet tall. They making it look so much bigger. That looks way bigger than 16 feet. Or am I just misjudging how big 16 feet is? I'm just talking a lot. I'm dying.
16 times 3, so it's like almost 6 meters. Just over 5 meters, or yards.
Okay.
So over 5 yards.
Somebody said now all we need is an overly emotional protagonist and we're set. That's cool. But yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, you well said it doesn't have his own power source. They said like Guardians of the Galaxy. What happened in that?
Emotionally, he's just like what was the thing? He said emotionally something protagonist. Like the
Emotionally,
dude.
yeah, overly emotional.
Overly emotional, yeah. Like they're trying to get fucking what's his name, and then he's pissed off that they killed his girl. Like if you just calm down a little bit, they could have got him right there. Thanos.
What about Thanos? I'm sorry, my mind jumped to something else for a second.
The dude in the Guardians of the Galaxy. When they were getting Thanos on, I think they were on Saturn or something, or somewhere.
I only seen that movie partially. I didn't like really get to sit with that movie. Yeah. I was like, Thanos was in there? Like I thought he was just in the other shit.
The leader from the Guardians of the Galaxy was in this. It was like Infinity War, I think it is.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch all of that either. I still watch it all. I gotta catch up on it.
Time and a place. All good.
No, it's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up. You was saying that the Gundam doesn't have its own power source. That's allowing me to think of the Avas. How they only had their own power source, but for a limited amount of time. And how much emotion will pop up in the last 10 seconds. Like, I gotta make this work. But hey, you want to see a render I made?
Yes.
It's my most complete one yet. Cause I have to go soon. Cause I told somebody I'll be there to help them out with some work, and in turn they'll be helping me out to make a little cash on the side, so I can keep things afloat. But let me bring this up. I was working on this. Like I don't even think I shared the donut one on on the Discord. That thing took about 2 days to make. A whole day. It was fun going through all the lessons and everything, learning how to make it from scratch, from a mesh and shading and everything. And now when I look around, the more I'm getting to this 3D stuff, and cause I've been doing it for a while, but now I'm learning like the things that I was scared to learn, like the nodes and learning about the math of how composition and things are put together, and being able to change the textures and everything like that. And now that did that course, I'm looking at everything. Like I could just recreate it, the base structure of it. It's an awesome experience. Cause then it just has me thinking about, yeah, this reality is generated too. I'm just seeing how I would generate it, but this thing is generated. It's a coding behind it. It's just keeping me on my toes. Like you creating this, something created this. Something created that beyond that, and then something gonna create something inside of your creation. But without further ado, I think I got it right here. It's right here. I modeled the mushroom. There goes the hat. I was about to say that I have on my head right here. Modeled that. That's my actual skateboard that I hand painted. Got that 3D modeled in there. Was learning how to use fluid mechanics and fluid physics. And adding the sound and everything. Yeah. Thanks, thank you. And I'm a
it splashes on it. Sometimes you gotta splash it on them.
Yeah, waters and mushrooms. It's like the same thing. It's like a reawakening, something that's continuously just flowing. It's something that just goes. I put the skateboard in there because that's something that I've been connecting with the mushroom and skateboard. I mean, microdosing has been allowing me to find and carve new avenues in my mind so I can be able to do things that I didn't think I'd be able to do before, but was just, or thought, imagined it, but actually put it in that imagination into practice. And actually be able to work in my imagination, like not see somebody else doing the trick, but actually see myself doing it and then saying, hey, now go and try it. Now that you literally see yourself doing it, like in your vision, imagination, go out and do it. This is your story right now. And that's what this piece was called. Thanks, you well. I know it's splashing all over again. I wish I could turn the volume down on it a bit, but I don't actually know how to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna turn the loop off right now. But I still have, that's still the beta version. You said just use the donut to learn the software, then go and figure out sculpting. That's how it started. I mean, that's how it was continuing, because I could say I started a while ago. But I got real into it by doing that donut tutorial. And Exile, it was wild, because the first tutorial had like 7 million views. The second tutorial, 6 million. By the time I got to the 6th tutorial, it was like at 900,000. And it just continuously got less and less until you got to like part 16. And then it was just
people
like
dropping out, hitting that bell.
So everybody in the comments, we was congratulating to each other. We was like, yeah, we made it this far. I was like, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I know what it meant to get this far now. As you can think all you want, but once you in the heat and then actually flipping the pan and cooking in Hell's Kitchen, you come out all right. Come out all right.
See, man, and people are saying that you don't get information online. People are saying you can't verify it. No, you can verify anything anywhere. It's all verified by self. That's all what science is doing. That's all what YouTube is doing, or anybody that wrote anything. These are all people up and down the line. You got to do a lot of research to find out, and like that's awesome because we help each other. You know, like you get to that final plateau, and there's a bunch of people up there being like, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's not. But I mean, education, I don't think will ever stop. People like learning. It's a facet of creation to understand what is going on. It's easy to create it, but it's hard to understand it, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's something that you just kind of click when you just in the right vibe. It just click. That understanding just clicks. And then you're like, oh, I get it now. And you well said people had to pay some 100K. Now it's all on the net. All on the net. That brings me back to the first episode of Just Tainow that I made. When I was working at the school district doing computers and stuff. And I had the example of, I'm just getting the flashback, and I had the iPad and stuff. And I say, yeah, all these books, everything is on here. Got everything on the internet. And if y'all want a real life case or a real movie case as I go out, the horror movie 1994, and it got the 3 parts. The guy that got them through everything was the black boy, the guy that was actually on the computer all the time. He spent all the time on the computer, so he knew everything about the spirits and the monsters and the legends and stuff, and what they had to do to actually like stop it. And he had the best idea. He's like, how do you know this? He's like, yeah, we was talking about this on internet stuff. I was like, yo, that's us right now on the internet, finding all these things, going back out about monsters and spirits. But in that horror movie, without him, that he was a major crutch to how they was able to actually get over a lot of stuff and know what to do in certain situations. And you said, don't fight the journey. Let it flow as you now. Or as you row. Or did you write?
Let it flow as you row. I like that.
Yeah, and with that, I'ma have to go.
Peace, bro. I appreciate
Peace
you.
Out. Same here, Exile. It's awesome conversation. And Block as well. Thanks for tying on in. Now look at my voice already changed. Thanks for tying on in. This has been awesome.
Have a good night.
Hey, same to you, bro. Same to you. Everybody, thanks for coming on through. You well, Adams. Adams, Murky, Forgotten. Oh, sorry I missed you in there. He was throwing in the 369 when he was talking about the Tesla. I appreciated coming through. Velvet, Charles the Awakened, Block. As we that's you. That same block. Blockity block. But yeah, thank you guys. Adios. Check out the tainow website. I'm gonna have some more renders and test renders and stuff up there, and on Instagram as well. I'm uploading on Instagram. And I'm Ty on out of here. Adios.